Alright, it's the next day, as far as I remember. And this is the actual thingamajigger sitting here. There is very little clearance here. I may have to do something about that. Nothing's really bolted up yet. It's not even tight. Anyway, I'm sitting here looking at this, and as I said, this is solid here. There is absolutely no coasting. Whoops. Chair leg. What was I saying? I don't forget what I was saying. The derailleur. In order to be able to go forwards and backwards, of course I'm not going to shift when I'm going backwards. I'm sitting here thinking as I'm recording because I'm dumb. I'm not dumb. I'm actually very smart. I've built this thing from scratch. Scrap and things that people were throwing away. I'll be back. If I'm going to be able to shift at all, if I want to shift, of course I want to shift. What am I saying? Derailleurs don't work upside down, and they work even less backwards, like this one is. You know, it might work upside... No, it won't. You know, it might. Let me slap a chain on this. And we'll see from there. Okay, so it's a wee bit too short, considering how long the bike is. So generally, when you're pedaling, you're going along and the chain is going like this, being dragged through the bottom first. And in order to change a gear, you twist the little knob or hit the little lever up on the handlebar, and a handy little wire comes down and moves this to the separate gears. And if you've ever ridden a bicycle, you know that they don't like to go backwards. You definitely can't shift backwards. Now, in order for this to work, what I'm thinking I'll have to do is modify this derailleur in such a way where instead of sitting in the back there, it sits in the front and moves the chain both top and bottom. That way it likes to go backwards. I think that'll work. It should definitely work. I've got plenty of other derailleurs I can take apart to use for parts. And then for this one, I might just leave, as far as the clutch goes, I might just leave the entire front part apart alone. The front part apart alone. The front... I can't talk. Okay. So this hub will be cannibalized. And I'll probably take the smallest... Maybe not. Okay, I haven't figured that part out. I'll take one of these cogs. You're not even seeing what I'm talking about. One of these cogs. Slap it on here and weld it. This is steel, by the way. It's a Colnago, I think. I don't know, it came off of some old bike that these are off of. Anyway. There'll be 1 cog here, 5 in the rear. I'll do the clutch right here. That'll be easiest. And then I can leave stuff alone up here. That seems pretty easy to me. It's a lot. It's a lot easier than what I was gonna do, because then I even have a mounting point. And then up here, I am not sure if I have this derailleur mounted on the wrong place or what, but this derailleur is the one that came off of this bike. But you can tell that when you're pedaling, the chain is rubbing on here and it shouldn't be. I might have to put a little wheel here. That I don't know yet. But I'm definitely going to have some sort of tensioner. Here. I'll have something here to keep it from it'll be a never slip. And it'll move off of this. And then back here, I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5. And I know this is off kilter. Oh, you're not even seeing anything. This is off kilter a bit. There's some adjustments I can do. It's funny how I say in a different voice. This bike that these came off of, and this had been crashed or run over or something, and the derailleur's a bit off. But it doesn't matter because I'm going to cut it apart anyway. It is a Sun Tour. It's upside down, but cover the light a little bit. Maybe you can see something. Where's the light? There's Sun Tour. Now, before I do any of that, I'm going to take everything off, everything pertaining to the drivetrain. Finish up the rear suspension. Holy crap, really close up. Anyway, I'll finish up the suspension in the rear. Then I'll know how much space I have to do other things. And as she sits right now is not how she's going to be finally. There'll be a couple of skis bolted to here and up there. Probably just below here. I don't know, I'll figure it out. I always try to, at least. Alright, let's see if we can get the camera to focus. Hello. Thank you. I just found a bike that's been hit. But it's got this 8-speed on it. It seems to be in decent condition. The cog set's all good. I'm pretty sure the chain's I mean, there was one nick that I was worried about. No, I guess it's just part of the chain that looks like that. So the chain on this one's good. That's good. And that's good. You think what I'm thinking? This will be the rear. The rearmost of the big bike. The plow bike. Hippocrates is his name. Let's get it off. Okay. So, we've got a chain here. I have a chain tool somewhere, but I'm not going to wait around and find it. Here's how you take off a chain without a chain tool. Without cutting the chain or damaging it. Here's the tools you need. Adjustable wrench. Definitely. definitely get one that's not going to be damaged by you banging on it a little bit. Hole punch. This is not a hole punch. Punch. I'm using this as a hammer because it's aluminum and it's softer than a steel hammer. You may need a pair of pliers too. Then, take the bike. Yes. Well, in this case, it's giving me metal splinters. So let me get rid of that. In such a way that my dog isn't going to find it. Okay. That hurt. Anyway, I don't care about this bike a whole much. I told you I couldn't speak. It's got some good, decent wire on it. I might use it later, but fuck it. Good. Then, you rebend the, alright, we'll forget that right now. You rebend whatever the hell it just fell on. And of course, if it's a bike you care for, don't do that. You open up the wrench, about that much. You see what I'm getting at? Now I've only got two hands and the dog ain't gonna film for me. So, you take it, you sit it right in the middle, and you lam on it a couple times with a soft hammer, mallet. And it should come out. Now, on most chains, all you gotta do, and this may or may not be bad for them, I'm not a bike expert, I don't really, it's gonna break in a couple of years anyway, may as well use the junk I've got. Once you've got that pin shoved down there a little ways, and it'll be sticking out on the other side, you can generally take a pair of pliers and separate this one from this one. Either one of them will spin on the other rod, and then it'll just slip right out. Now I'll show you, but I can't, well, no I can't film, I'm not going to bother. I'll show you in a second. Okay, now your hands are going to get pretty messy, especially if you keep your chain well lubricated. You can see how that pin is now pushed out of there a little bit. Now I'm going to take my pliers, I'm going to use them as pliers, clamp them onto this, and twist this out of the way. Alright, now what happened instead, of course, is I ended up pulling it off of the other side, which is just fine in my case because I'm not too worried about the chain. Your chain is undone now. There are now two hands instead of a continuous loop. Make sure you do not lose these halves. If you do, you're fucked. Alright, back in the shop now. The garage, I should say. This goes to this, which will be here. This doesn't count. I have 4 derailleurs to work with. Actually, no, wait. 5. Yeah, so I've got this one too. So that's 6. Let me find it. Lucky me, I found 2. 2 more. One here, Walmart. One here, older Walmart. I'm only going to take those off if I need them. Parts of this mic may be used because it's a really... the components are decent. The bearings were shit. Alright, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that I have to work with. There's going to have to be 2 for the rear, 2 for here in the middle, and at least 1 there to act as a tensioner, which will work with this. Now let me figure stuff out. Like, I mean, you're not holding me. I'm gonna go figure things out. So. Alright, the heater's on. I hope you can hear. Here's what I'm working with now. I'm on the other side. I've got the seat off. This will be taken off of here. I've not torn into it or anything yet. I'm hoping it's just a screw into here. If it's not, I'll make something. This derailleur here will be limited, and it will only be able to move until there-ish. There will be an arm that reaches around here, and of course this won't be able to come back this far. It'll only be able to come back until there. This entire piece will be relocated to over here, and there will be an arm from this here going around here to tighten, to hold this, and it will move all as one piece. I will then take another one apart and or connect it in some way here. I haven't figured that out yet. I'm really hoping I can do it all with one derailleur, is what I'm trying to get at. I might have to sleep on this one.